man, what's your name and where you calling from?
Zaiyah's house uptown.
Pollinator on a pollinator?
Zaiyah's house uptown.
Stop it, that's not hot.
Zaiyah's house uptown.
Oh, you think the wall is round, but it's flat.
Zaiyah's house uptown.
You mess with the bull, you get the horns.
Okay, we back, and we people of color. I'm here with my man, the computer genius. We were just listening to Think by Lynn Collins. That band that's playing behind that, that's the JBs, that's James Brown's band, if you wonder why it's so funky. Every time I hear that song, it reminds me like, everybody got that older person in their family that always wanted to dance with the younger people. That old aunt. That what she wanted to do the breakdown, she could go all the way down to her knees and come all the way back up.
You said the key thing now. That's my aunt in my family. Like you gotta dance. Like around her, it has to be. You ain't sitting down. You're not playing the wall. It's just not happening. She will be the type to see and look for that one most stubborn individual and pull you in the middle of the dance floor and like, I don't know what you came to do, but this is a party.
I'm gonna break it down and bend over in front of you and give you this old tookus. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're here with the computer genius. What information you got for the folks today?
The information that I have today is actually, I've been getting a lot of complaints, same thing like computers. I got an Android phone, but it starts to slow down. I got a smartphone. Well, see, before it was considered a smartphone, it was actually considered somewhat of a mobile PC before you even had your laptops. You had what was a Palm Treo, or you had your Windows phone back then. So basically it is like a computer. So what happens is all those videos that you start watching off of Facebook gets downloaded automatically. Same thing with World Star Hip Hop. Same thing with YouTube. You create a cache and that gets stored on your phone, and now all that 8 gigabytes of space, 16 gigabytes of space runs out. So what ends up happening? The phone doesn't know where to write. So now it's starting to look for places. So what's happening is you're processing something and now it got to look somewhere to write. So what you got to do is start cleaning out the junk. And you know what most of that junk comes from, right?
What is that?
Porn sites.
Yeah.
MP3s.
Porn on my phone. But MP3s. Well, I don't even have MP3s on my phone. No, but I understand most people do.
Majority do.
I only have like one app maybe on my phone. I don't know. They ask for too much information.
Yeah, just for a flashlight app, I want to know who you're talking to, where you're at, and I'm like, all I need you is just to shine a bright light.
Contact your friends, permission to post on your site. I mean, it's like, wait, that's too much.
Yeah, no, I think that is a major invasion of privacy, and computer laws really need to be changed on that. But back to the topic.
But how would you purge the computer? I mean, how would you purge the phone?
Well, see, the thing about it is the same thing like your computer, your Windows computer. The only difference is these items are not built into it. What you got to understand is your Android is actually a different operating system. You have Windows, Mac, and Linux. And when you have Linux, you control everything yourself. So nothing is automated for you. You have to go in and do it yourself. So with Android, a lot of individuals are not going to know how to do that because, you got to go in and you got to type this and you got to type that. So the best thing that I would recommend for you to do is get an app. One of those best apps are Android Assistant. Now you laugh and whatnot, but actually Android Assistant's been around.
No, I don't mind the app that I need. If I need you, then you can have access to my phone. But if there's not too many apps I absolutely need.
Oh no, with Android Assistant, it's your one-stop shop and it resolves a lot of things. Clears your memory, clears your RAM. Say for instance, like me, I'm a computer technician, so there's certain apps that my company, at one point I used to be a third-party tech for Dell, so I used to have Dell apps that you can't download from the Play Store and you can't get from the internet. You specifically got to get it off the computer, a USB that gets sent from Dell in order to get those apps. But the problem is, you know, you go and you got to install these apps, so you install one and then you wait for that one to finish, and then you got to look for the other one and then install that. Well, Android Assistant will look for all those apps and make it into a batch file. It'll take everything, put it into one, you hit install, and then it just agrees and it does everything else and install all those apps. So then within a matter of seconds, all of them get installed on your phone. So, you know, it does everything that you need all in one shot. You have Android Assistant, which I would recommend. You have Clean Master. I would recommend that one as well. I've been trying that lately, and that one actually has pretty good performance.
And that's CLEAN?
Yep.
MASTER?
Clean Master, correct. And then you have Android Assistant, just like you have a Secretary Assistant. Well, this is your Android Assistant. And one key thing, folks, as well, Androids are starting to catch viruses. Same thing that I put on your computer, guess what they have for the phone?
Oh, you have a virus thing?
They have virus protections. They have their quite a few, but we have Malwarebytes. Free, and it works. That's the one thing that I love. It works. So many companies you pay for, and what do they do? Nothing. What happened to that computer you were telling me that had a virus? Didn't it have what? McAfee or Norton? Wasn't that a paid subscription? And what did you pay for? Nothing, because it ain't protect from that virus, did it?
People always want to download those movies. Is there any way to safely download movies? Or what do you look for? Like if you're downloading a movie, on average, because you know on the side it tells you how much memory it's going to take or whatever for a movie, or how big the file is. What's the average size of a movie? Because I remember somebody was saying there was a list of movies, and he said, you see that one right there? That's not a movie. Because the numbers were either too low or too high.
Okay. Generally, the smallest movie file, because remember, you got TV shows as well. So the smallest movie file that you should ever run into would be about 700 megabytes. Anything less than that is suspect to me. TV shows will be anywhere from, the minimum is 300 megabytes. Anything less than that is suspect to me. So yeah, there are certain file size that you can look for, and it can help you generally, but at the same time, also with those file size, what it comes down to is compression. So you have a compression rate. So now, those file size, if you want true HD 1080p, we're talking about 30 to 40 gigs here. So when you start looking at those file size and they say 1080p and they're 4 gigs, that's me because they've been compressed. So the quality of the video is not the same. So that's another thing that you have to take a look for too. Me, I don't know. I'm quality over quantity, so I'm going to take my time and get those 30 and 40 gigs.
Yeah, I know, because I'm making these videos on this computer, and I see I'm eating up space.
Oh.
I'm doing that 1019 and all of that craziness. Want everything to be widescreen and high def, because that's what people want to look at. They don't want to see just half a screen with the black on each side and all that craziness.
Oh, actually, you know what's funny? When I worked for Cablevision, do you know how many people hated that when they got their HD TVs? They would call in, and if they could not resolve it, they would be furious just to see the black bars on the side. And then when we tell them, well, there's nothing we can really do about that, they're like, what do you mean? That's the content. It was made for that type of screen. It's full screen. It's not widescreen. They go, oh, and that's when they realize you're on the wrong channel. You need to go to the high def channel.
Yeah. I mean, before they had them high def channels, it's like, I bought a 55-inch screen and I'm only using 25 inches. What's going on here?
I can't even do that now. I forgot what movie I was gonna watch. It was an old movie, House Party. They had House Party on Netflix, but they never remastered it and made it in HD, at least that I found of. So when they went and they gave it on Netflix, it had the bars, and I'm like, oh man. And then I'm looking at the quality, and I'm like, it's a good thing my TV upscales, you know, closer to 4K, so it cleared it out a little bit. I played around with the features, and then I went and I stretched the screen a little bit, and it made me feel better. But it's so much funny. Back in the days, it didn't really matter until you look
His
at
high
it now.
top wasn't quite as high. It was a little wider than normal. But hey, we want to thank the computer genius for coming in here and sharing his wealth of knowledge with our folks here. Thanks a lot, young man.
Anytime. It's always a pleasure. And anytime you got any questions, feel free to call in.
We gotta get your theme song. Oh, I'm gonna have to sing one for you.
Oh no, we'll get a theme song. We'll find it.
Do you like it?